Welcome to the 911 Survival Guide, where you not only want to survive, but thrive as a telecommunicator in the field of 911. I'm your host, Brett Batchelor, training coordinator at NCT 911. Today we're going to be talking about mental health. So as we have May upon us, it's starting to get hot, school's almost out, it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're going to talk a little bit about what that means. Mental health refers to, is defined, the emotional and psychological well-being of a person. But why is mental health so taboo? Why is that so difficult? Well, it's pretty easy to see. If I got a broken leg, I'm dragging it around. People see that. They want to help you. They want to take care of you. But maybe somebody can't see that you're struggling, or maybe that you're feeling suicidal. And it's easier to pretend like you're okay than sometimes coming to the grips that you are not okay. So I'm going to share a story about some mental health struggles and something that happened when I was a telecommunicator and something that affected me. So like we talked about, mental health has a lot of stigma in it, and I'm very passionate about mental health. And like I always like to say, not because my mental health is great, but I struggle like everyone else, and I want to be transparent and show that vulnerability. So in my career as a telecommunicator, I served in many roles, and one of my roles was a communications training officer. So for those that don't know, you're going to be the trainer. You're a veteran. You've been working long enough that you know how to fix anything you screw up. And then you get a new boot, a rookie telecommunicator, to sit with you. You give them your knowledge. I always like to think of telecommunicator as a trade. They come alongside you as apprentice and learn the ways. And obviously, that was one of my most favorite parts of my career, as I'm now a training coordinator. But I had a wonderful telecommunicator who trained under me. She did wonderful. She moved through quickly. And for those trainees out there, we as your CTO, your trainers, you are our babies. You know, we pour so much into you, try to take care of you, and really love to watch you succeed. So fast forward, I've trained this TC. She's doing great. She's cut loose. Everything's fine. I'm very blessed. Me and my wife are expecting our second-born son. I'm off on baby bonding, enjoying that time, taking care of my newborn son. I'm sitting there feeding him, afternoon, about 2 o'clock on a Friday. Everything's good. Across the house, my phone rings. And anybody with a brand new baby, a brand new second baby, your world's a little topsy-turvy. Things don't make sense. You're not sleeping. He's not sleeping. It's chaos. Well, he was quiet and I was feeding him and I couldn't get to my phone. So I thought, you know what? I'll just call him back in just a minute. So my wife's home. We're enjoying that sweet baby bonding time. And my wife says, "Hey, your trainee called you." And I thought, oh, dear. Well, that's crazy. She never calls me during the day. Great relationship. Talked in person, talked at work. But not something that she would call me out of the blue. So I reached out, tried to call her back. Couldn't get a hold of her. Kind of bothered me. Tried to ping her again, reach out to her, but figured, you know what? No big deal. I'll talk to her later. Fast forward to Sunday night. After that Friday, I was coming back to work from baby bonding on that Monday, report for shift on my night shift, Monday night at 10:30 p.m. Sunday morning, I get a text from my friends and supervisors. My trainee, who had tried to contact me on Friday, had attempted to overdose, tried to overdose on pills. Decided that was not what she wanted to do, called 911. We took the call, transported her. She died en route. Such a tragedy. Mental health, so important. Why do we have the stigma? Why can't we reach out for help? So, as you can imagine, that greatly affects everyone. Anyone that knew her couldn't believe it. It was a tragedy. I obviously felt guilt then, feel guilt now. You know, everybody has to make that decision every day. That's why we need to be making sure we're taking care of our mental health so we can see when our peers, our friends, our colleagues are struggling. Like I said, I was on baby bonding, had been out enjoying 4 or 5 weeks away with my newborn, and my wife was not in contact with her very often. But I was heartbroken to return back to work and talk to my peers to find out that she did all the warning signs, gave things away, was withdrawn, changed things. She went down the checklist of warning signs for suicide. Rocked our call center. She was well liked. She was great. She was a bright light in a dark room. Really, really hurt us. We had some resources. We had some mental health there. But how do you SISM or deal with somebody when the whole department is affected? We didn't handle it very well. You always can learn lessons. But even after that situation, we had other people within our department who also tried to hurt themselves. We want to talk about mental health. We want to understand what's going on. And not only talk about it, but get resources and figure out what that looks like for you. I thought I was okay. I'm an advocate for mental health. It'll be okay. I felt terrible. I cried, did all the things you're supposed to do, and thought I could bounce back. Well, that led to the most difficult time in my marriage. I didn't know why things were not working well, why we were fighting, why we were struggling, but it was because of that, I believe. I hadn't dealt with it. I had so much guilt. It was rocking me. Mental health is something that we all deal with. We need to understand what those things are. And while we may not have any struggles at the moment, it's important that we prepare and do things to create a space for our colleagues and friends. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, how we can make a space and be available to help those around us. So first, like I said, create a safe space. We can't make anybody do anything. People are people. People don't want to talk about things. They're very private. We look at social media. It's very fake. We put out what we want people to see. But create a safe space. Don't ask, how are you doing? But be supportive, be available, be there for the people you trust. Listen, actively listen. Don't just halfway listen. Don't listen to respond, but actively listen and show that you care about that person. Encourage them to seek assistance. Encourage them to resources. Know what those are. Be aware for yourself. Be aware for your peers. Privacy, confidentiality is so important too. When somebody shares something with you, they disclose that they're dealing with something or struggling with something, that has to be private. You have to keep that with you. As part of our SISM task force we have, that's one of our main tenets, is you have to be confidential to earn that trust. And be patient. We have people we love and care about. We want them to get help. We want to take them there. We want to lead them to the water. We want to force them to drink, right? But we can't make anybody drink. You just got to be there and be ready. That same thing with our peers and with our callers, right? We talk about domestic violence and domestic calls. We have victims all the time that call in and don't leave that bad situation. We can't shun them. We have to be patient. We have to be waiting, standing with our arms open, ready to help them when they are ready to get the help they need. And while we're doing all these things, we need to make sure we take time for ourselves. Self-care, self-reflection, and that's tough. Always things are easier said than done. Work on taking care of yourself. Go get therapy. It's fantastic. Go exercise. Go have quiet time. I've recently started Pilates. It's wonderful. I was afraid that no one would let me in, being such a large guy, but it's wonderful. It's helped me a lot. Find things, find time for yourself. The world is a crazy, fast-moving place. We need to take care of ourselves so we can take care of each other. Like anything, everyone is different. We can't understand what affects us or affects someone else. So just put that expectations away. Just be ready. Just be available, be vulnerable to help each other. For all those telecommunicators and people that are struggling with things now, we all are fighting our own battles. But I plead with you, find someone you trust. Find someone that you can talk to. You're not alone in these feelings and feeling frustrated and feeling down. Reach out to someone, get the support and the help you need. Don't make a decision to end your life, to hurt yourself. We are here ready to assist. We would much rather talk to you, help you, be there to assist you any way we can. That's what mental health is about, and mental health awareness is about. Removing that stigma, talking about those things, understanding it. We got to take care of ourselves so we can be there to take care of others. So thank you for joining me today on the 911 Survival Guide. We talked about a lot of important things, got into some heavy conversation, important things. And as we're wrapping up May, ending Mental Health Awareness Month, don't let it just stay in May. Be aware, be helping, be taking care of yourself. Keep doing that great job that you love. We appreciate you, telecommunicators. And until next time, this is Brett Batchelor, signing off.